Good evening, Kenyans. That man right there is my friend Chalo Kilu. He's inspecting a house made of rubies. And this is real. This is a Kenyan story that has gone on in very many homesteads, in very many villages. So I'm going to talk to you about Chalo Kilu, who is one of the few, less than 10 or so, FGA certified gemologist in Kenya. What he does in Kenya, but also all these houses and places where you discover minerals just because of somebody constructing. In Ukambani, one of the funny stories we have is people discovering their houses are made of copper. They have used copper for decoration. We've also found a lot of people in Baringo, in other places, using fluorides just as normal stones. Such interesting gemstones and semi-precious stones just go to us because we don't have the knowledge, we lack the understanding, and nobody has ever bothered to teach us about our soils, our stones, and the precious minerals that is on our land. So, of course, as usual, I have stones. I have rubies here. But they are low quality. But at least it'll give you an understanding. I'm waiting to go to a place where there's more sunlight. It'll give you an understanding of what rubies look like so that you can understand where to get them, first of all. Secondly, we'll go through the system and policies that changed rubies. Previously, rubies, you'd find them across all along Mwindi-Mbingu. Kenyans, Africans would go to Pokot, because that's where we have a lot of rubies. They would go to Baringo, a lot of rubies. They go to Taita Taveta, they go to Kitui, come back with rubies. Also, we have some rubies in Isiolo. They would come back with the rubies. And then Moi killed that business. This one, Mois and the Wahindis. They killed the business because they found it competitive. Because as a Kenyan, you could be able to easily go there, mine them, and then come and sell in Nairobi at normal prices. But these people, because they wanted to do price control, he killed that market. So first, like I promised, rubies. I'm holding a couple of rubies here. You can see them, right? These rubies, I hope they are visible. I have with them an amethyst and bad rubies. These are level 3 or 4 quality rubies. They are used, but what we need to understand is how they look like, how they present. So it's usually curvature, right? It's not so like that. You see, it's long and round, but the edges are not. They have edges. So that is how a ruby looks like. This is a poor quality ruby, but it's a ruby nonetheless. It would look like that. Right? You can see. I'm hoping this is clear for you. Whatever shadows, right? You can see the distinction between that ruby and say an amethyst, right? You can see the edges are sharper, and of course it's purple. And this amethyst also has the crystal, the quartz that we were talking about. So it's not fully formed, but that is the difference between rubies and big dog. Wait. So we came across a very big barbell. Sorry, my leg was injured last week. We came across a very big dog, so we had to stop. But now I've realized, kumbe, I can actually change the setting, so you can see rubies versus amethysts, right? They're all low quality. That is why they are in my pocket. I have bagfuls of this. So these rubies are for lasers. So they have uses, industrial uses, not gemstone uses. But yeah, they go into guys buying them for lasers and others. So don't worry, that pink, that reddish hue will be used. Anyway, back to Chalo Kilu, an FGA certified gemologist, and what gemology is about. First of all, if you have a ruby, you have an aquamarine, you have a savorite, you have even an amethyst, right? And even gold. If you have a gemstone that needs a sapphire or the tourmalines, the good ones, I'm talking of the minerals in Kenya, tourmaline, sapphires, zirconia, all these that you want certified. You want them, you want to know the price, you want to make sure by the time it comes out of Kenya, you can tell the price. You go to an FGA certified gemologist. If they certify it, stamp it, and package it, it will arrive as it is, and the money that has been estimated for you will be the right money. So that is the work that Chalo does. So in that video, where people have just constructed, and then out of that construction, you find the rubies, because once you touch that place, it turns purple. I think I have some images of the purple hue coming out of some of the lab sessions, because I've even filmed at his college. The college he has here in Machakos does three things. Number one, of course, they cut gemstones. They cut them. If you want a ring that is designed in Kenya, I actually have a ring made out of Baringo ruby and Pokot gold. That one comes from there. Then also now that is just cutting, but also now lapidary, that is now creating minerals and turning them, basically the craftsmanship of it, and then that certification. So as people who manufacture jewelry in Kenya, and he has a training school for that, he has been very instrumental in also helping me understand the systemic capture of the mining and gemstone industry in Kenya. These stones, you can see, I hope now you can appreciate the look of the ruby, so that if you ever come across it, you can tell. The real ruby, the high quality, the gem quality, you'll tell it by the glassiness. You can see the way the amethyst is glassy. That is how you will tell imekulwa vizuri, ikakuwa glassy. Of course, this is a low quality amethyst because you can see it was still forming, but it's also cracked. But look at those sharp edges. By this inatokanga kwa ground hivyo, and then of course you must preserve the edge. And amethyst whose edge is cut now is low quality because you don't want to mess it. But the rubies as they are good. So back to Moi and how he captured the ruby business, particularly in Baringo. Baringo is endowed with gemstones. It has fluorites, it has very good calcites. I'll show you the fluorites on another day because it is part of the survey, but they are green, they are lovely. If I have a photo here, I'll include it. So we have fluorites, we have the rubies. The rubies, you can tell how Moi did it is because he cut the entire region and put it in Baringo Central constituency. Munakumbuka hiyo constituency yako? It is gerrymandered. The way we talk about gerrymandering in the US, Moi did that. And then he neglected the other places, and that place became a place for exploiting the ruby business. Then from there, Muindi Mingu people were forced into shops, they were closed, and then only the people who could afford. So like I said, a lot of the Asians and then Kenyans were removed from that business. So Kenyans now started having to export rubies and gemstones to Thailand, to Canada, which other place? Singapore, right? Where they could be allowed to purchase Singapore. Now, part of that was also the issue of certification, because sometimes you have to leave Kenya, go all the way to Dubai to get an FGA certification so that it can be stamped and said, yes, this is 14 karat, this is 20 karat, this is a savorite that is worth $500,000, this is a aquamarine that is worth 10 million, and so on and so forth. The white people in Kenya do have that ability, but a lot of Kenyan communities, a lot of artisanal miners don't have that. So imagine, just to get that certification, you have to take your raw stones all the way to Dubai, all the way to Singapore, to Thailand, to wherever, to Canada sometimes, for them to be certified. And even then you are not sure all the cost you have endured, you are certified. And then after you are certified is now when you get the pricing and you can sell. But with FGS certified gemologist in Kenya, you can get it down here. So Chalo, I know he leads. I hope he listen. I'm literally promoting him, but I'm also showing you that sometimes barriers to market are such a small thing, but such a huge thing. Because for you to get that FGS certification, you have to go to study in London, in the UK, in Europe. You cannot get it in Kenya, and that is part of the limitation. So we hope that the more gemologists are trained here in Kenya, the more they learn the craft, then people don't have to go all the way out of the country to be able to know the value of their stones. I know the value of my stones because I'm closer to them, I know them, and nobody is going to lie to me. But anyone who has ever dealt with rubies and whatever will tell you this is low quality. Yeah, so if you pass by Machakos and you're like, I want to hold a ruby, I want to hold an amethyst, I want a sapphire, I want some, come and touch them. Feel the riches of our soils. Tuache kujenga nyumba na rubies and others with crystals and amethyst. Here in Kaseve, I even found people where they were saying, our houses are made of stones, but the stones are like windows. They had used entire boulders of crystal quartz as stones, and so you could see through. And that was part of traditional housing, but surely, seriously, haki wa Kenya, we have really been set back in terms of our mineral wealth. Yeah. So have a nice evening. The barbell is gone, so let us walk now safely home. My dog is too small, it doesn't know its size. Have a nice